So good afternoon. So today I'm going to tell you the real lesson of the movie The Matrix and its trilogy. What I'm going to teach you is the underlying truth of what the movie is really trying to tell you in this trilogy. Although there are many lessons that you can learn and many things represent other things within the lesson, within the movie, many times the movie will do things to make you not to miss the truth. So here we go. In the first part, when Morpheus is meeting with Neo, when you look at the glasses in the reflection, you see that there is two Neos. There is the one Neo that cannot move and cannot receive the pill, while the other one does, is able to move and lift his left hand to receive the right hand red pill. This signifies the left brain reaching out to control the right brain, the conscious controlling the subconscious and accepting truth, where the other side cannot accept truth. Now, what we learn here is that anytime your brain accepts a new truth, your body can't handle it. Your mind can't handle it. As we see in this scene, this is when Neo realizes what the Matrix truly is. See, when you think you know a truth and you have it well placed in your brain, then you operate a certain way. But as soon as you recognize what the real truth is, the next level of truth, all of a sudden your brain can't handle it and it pops and it shows in your body. Now, once you accept that truth, then you move and you maneuver and you have an understanding of it, and you can do things that you weren't previously able to do because now you've come into that understanding of truth. And when Neo came into that understanding, he was able to do things and appear to fulfill the prophecy just as it was spoken, just as Morpheus, who represented wisdom, has shown him what that truth is. Now, in the movie, people will try to distort your truth. Once you find out what truths are, then those who know that you've realized the next level of truth, like the Merovingian did, then he will then come to you and try to make you think that you are not truly in the understanding or truly at the level that you are supposed to be at. And they will try to twist the truth, just as he did with the understanding of cause and effect and understanding your why. But the Merovingian, just like his henchmen, who were unable to accept their own truth, and that the fact that their program should have been deleted, that there was something still above them and that they couldn't handle, and they refused to leave because they refused, even at their level of understanding, to accept the next level of truth, and that is that they were obsolete. The information they had was obsolete. But even when you come to that level where you understand that your information is obsolete, just like Morpheus, he believed in what the prophecy had told him. There was nothing that could have changed him. He had come to the level of truth of understanding the Matrix, and he understood the prophecies, and that he would find the one who will end the war, and he would be the one to usher in that peace between Zion and the machine, that he would destroy the machines, is actually what he was taught and believed in his prophecy. But even Morpheus had to come to a new level of truth. When Neo told him that the oracle had changed, that everything he believed was a lie, that he wasn't the one that would end the war, Morpheus himself had to come to the point where he recognized that even his understanding of truth was not real, was not the fullness of it. I mean, I say real, but it wasn't the full understanding of truth. And even those who are within the system of the Matrix, when they think that they are upholding their truth, because there are always two sides of the coin, and Smith was upholding a truth that he believed in, he would go and he understood that they were in the Matrix. He understood his part, his role in it, and he was fulfilling that. And even though he thought that man was a virus, he still had to come to a new level of truth, because when Neo freed him, and I'll come back to him, because when Neo freed him, Neo got to a point where he recognized that even in the real world, there were still levels of truth that he didn't understand, because he felt the machines, right? So he came to a new level of truth. And if you remember this portion of the movie, this is when Neo recognized that he can still control the machines, and his body collapsed. This is when he went into a coma. Why? Because a new level of truth that was beyond his understanding had hit. And just like Smith, when he came into a new level of understanding, a new level of truth, unlike the Merovingian, who decided he will still work within the framework, Smith was so caught up into this new truth that he decided that he would be God, that he would change the matrix, he would create the matrix, that since he viewed humans as a virus, that he would get rid of all them, creating his own deluge, creating his own flood by changing everyone. And many people miss this imagery, but it was Smith in the final movie seeing himself as an angel, as a God, and that he would recreate the matrix in his own image. And here's the thing, he had gained the sight of the oracle and had taken care and taken over her. So he believed he knew the future, and he saw himself victorious. So he understood this and knew this. But it wasn't until Neo would not stay down, and he got up and he asked, "Why are you still fighting?" And he said, "Because I choose to." And at this point, Smith realized a truth, that he could not recreate this world. He could not destroy the man's will. He could not destroy man's will. So he had to come to a truth that he did not know everything. He could not foresee everything, and his ability to change everything was not going to be. Now this leads me into when Neo was talking to the architect. And the architect had a truth that remember he said, "We've destroyed Zion multiple times and we're getting quite good at it." He expected Neo to go and repopulate Zion by going into the source. And by going to the source and choosing a number of people, he would repopulate. And he told him, "Your love is your greatest weakness and your greatest strength." And because of that, he thought Neo would just conform. But then he realized the truth, and Neo did not conform. Why? Because he had a love for Trinity. He had a love for Trinity. And if you think about the movie, in every movie, he had to save Trinity. He had to save love. He had to save care. He had to save the person that fulfilled his heart in every movie. And even she had to realize the truth, that she would fall in love to the one, and the one was a dead man. And so that their love and his will continued to work with each other. But then there was a truth that she had to realize. And that truth is that she would die. She would die, and she could not be saved. So when she died, Neo realized another truth. And that's the truth that he can't save her. That you can never completely hold on to loved ones or love, because eventually their energy leaves. And when he came to that truth is when he truly understood why he had to go to the machine city, because he understood that he could not go to the source, but he had to go to the mainframe, and he himself had to sacrifice himself. He had to become part of the matrix. He had to get inside the matrix and to actually change it. You see, the prophecy said that a man was born inside the matrix, and he had the ability to make it into whatever he wanted to. So in order for that to work, he had to get inside the matrix. And then he realized that the only way to save humanity and save the machines is to sacrifice himself, to become part of it, to be the savior himself. Now, this was a Christ imagery that they did, but it is the fact that you have to find salvation within yourself in order to truly come to levels of truth and understanding, so you can walk in wisdom. And see, when Neo did this, he came into that level of truth. Well, the next scene that you have, and I couldn't find a photo for it, but the next thing you have is you got the Oracle, who had always thought she knew what was going to happen, speaking to the architect. And that conversation crystallizes the rest of the movie, because they talked about how some people will still not accept the matrix. And the Oracle was asking the architect, "What are you going to do?" And because the architect had already told Neo that there were certain acceptable conditions of living, the survival, that they were willing to accept, he had to say, "We will let them go. We will let them be free." That he realized, that the architect came to the point of realizing that they can't keep, that it's not a script. They won't be able to keep repeating it. The architect even had to come to a level of truth. So the entire movie is getting harmony within your left and right brain, and your conscious controlling your subconscious, and being able to accept truth. That's it, guys.